continue space travel have on the
Earth? Alright, now there are only 3 countries that actually have spaceships. The one is the USA, the other one is Russia, and the other one is China.
Has space travel benefited the environment and how?
I think we answered a bit of that as well, okay? Because what they do is, yes, it's very, very expensive. It costs millions and millions of rand to go up into space. But when Mark Shuttleworth, the first South African, travelled up with the Russians into the International Space Station, it's a big lab up at the top over there. They did so many experiments that helps with cancer and diseases and things like that, so it definitely benefits our environment.
Is space travel important?
Well, I think space travel is very important because I think people go up into space and they learn new things about our world. They're looking to see how our planets were made and how our Earth was created, and they get to see if there are other people out there.
What's new about space travel?
Alright, so as I said to you boys, alright, we are going to, obviously now, the space shuttle is no longer going to go up to space. And they're going to pull off because it's too dangerous. So the only spaceship that will be going up is the Russian spaceship. And they will go up to the space, International Space Station, and they live there for 6 to 8 months doing experiments. So now they're still building the space station. So they fly the spaceship up, and then they fix the space station, and then they live there and do experiments. Now, next year there's going to be no more space shuttles, so now they're looking at. Now Richard Branson owns Virgin, and this is his new spaceship. So he's not going to take off from the ground like that one does. He's going to take off in his aeroplane. Can you see the spaceship over there? So as he's flying, they're going to launch it, and it's going to be able to go up into space. NASA is the American Space Agency. They're the people who do all the space stuff in America. And they are building a new spaceship called Orion. And this is what Orion is going to look like. It will have a rocket, okay, and that will be where the people will be. It will also be reusable. And it's obviously going to have a lunar module, and they're building this one specifically to go to the moon. They want to go up to the moon, and they want to create a world up on the moon. They want to build a hotel, and they want to make food there, and they want to make air there. That's what they're going to go and do. They're going to go up to the moon next, and they're going to see if they can make it a place where we can visit Earth. How cool is that going to be?
This could look like a awesome.
Right, yes, Daniel, what have you got for me, my boy?
How did they transport the shuttles around?
Okay, the shuttle is very big, so what we have over here is a picture of our Boeings, and what they do is they actually transport our Boeings on top, so when they move it from one place, it almost piggybacks on the other one, and then they land it, and then they've got a big trailer that they take it to where they're going to launch it from, and then they set it up and ready to launch it. So that's how they do it. I think that's quite cool.
What was the name of the first satellite and when was it launched?
Okay, so now we're going to go and have a look at our timeline over here, and we're going to have a look to see. Okay, now, the biggest clue of what happened there is obviously the big thing was going into space. So when we started over here, you will see that there were so many people who always wanted to go into space. So the first rockets were launched by the Germans, okay, and then there were animals that went into space. They sent flies up into space. Alright, then of course Albert, he was a monkey, and he went into space. Unfortunately, I don't think they actually came back. And there, strangely enough, the people who sent all the first things into space were the Russians. And this is called Sputnik. And this was the first satellite would actually be. Now you must imagine there are nearly 500, lots and lots of satellites going around our Earth all the time. Plenty of them in there. Okay, then Laika was the first dog.
Yes.
He was Russian as well. Alright, and there was your space probe, the Luna. And then of course Yuri Gagarin, he's Russian. He was the first man to go into space. And his wife, Valentina, was the first woman. Alright, and then of course they landed on the moon. All right, and that was very important. In 1969, Neil Armstrong and them landed on the moon, and they landed in the Apollo ones as well. And then, of course, as we went along in 1981, the space shuttle was actually brought in, and of course, that was the first space station, which was Mir. They brought it out of the sky a while back, and there's our International Space Station that they're still busy building. This year they're going to finish building it, and anybody can go up there, well, if you've got lots of money, and that's where you're going to be. And of course, it's going to be very interesting. Phew. Those are all our new spaceships that hopefully are going to be really cool. They can take people into space. They do so many experiments, and they help with curing cancer. They help with making cars that are better in the environment. And they do a whole lot of experiments up there because there's no gravity that can help our environment and save it later on. How to grow plants, how to look at making water, and all those kind of things they do as experiments. Okay.
Go for auto sequence start.
And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have all the vehicle's critical functions. T-minus 17 seconds. 15. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. Go for main engine start. Main engine start. 2. 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery Space Station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
The Discovery roll program.
Houston now controlling the flight of Discovery. The Space Shuttle begins the journey back into orbit. Discovery completes its roll. The shuttle now heads down, wings left to orbit. This view from a camera on the external tank's liquid oxygen feed line showing the bird's eye view of Discovery as it races towards space, a star-spangled start to Discovery's mission.
SRB hydraulic power units have started. T-minus 21 seconds, and the solid rocket booster engine gimbal now underway. T-minus 15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Control program. Roger, roll, Challenger.
Good roll program confirmed. Challenger now heading down range. Engines beginning throttling down now at 94%. Normal throttles for most of the flight, 104%. We'll throttle down to 65% shortly. Engines at 65%, 3 engines running normally, 3 good fuel cells, 3 good APUs. Velocity 2,257 feet per second. Altitude 4.3 nautical miles, downrange distance 3 nautical miles.
So the 25th Space Shuttle mission is now on the way after more delays than NASA cares to count. This morning it looked as though they were not going to be able to get off.
1 minute 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance 7 nautical miles.
looks like a couple of the solid rocket boosters blew away from the side of the shuttle in an explosion.
Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction.